Hello everybody, this is the first video commentary for Bateau 323 coming at you. This is all captured on the PlayStation 4 using the native video capturing software. So, as you can see, as you first start up the game, there's a lot of activating of all sorts of crap, loading up and saving, etc. So from here, let's get right on to it. I love these captions now. They gotta start throwing things in here left and right for dates, in case people start trying to get extra conspiracy theory on this to make sure this isn't real.
Mayday! Mayday! Controls unresponsive. Tower, do you read? Shit. Comms are down.
Snake's infamous bathroom. I miss cassette players. I used to have a Sony Walkman, but it wasn't the cool 80s version. It was the old sportsman thing. It's hilarious that in the 80s they had like this e-cigarette thing. And they've only come out, what, in 2015? I gotta say, I love the level of perspective in this game. And in fact, if you notice in the upper right hand corner, there's a little controller icon that indicates that you can zoom in and look around and do all sorts of stuff with the camera, so you're not just looking at one spot the entire time. But considering everything is super blurred out, it's really hard to tell what the hell you're in. So I tried zooming in here and there to get a see, maybe it's just because of my perspective, but no, it's all the same. But clearly it's intentional. But this is really impressive with all the little filters Kojima and the Kojima production team put into it. And definitely support Kojima and his next adventure, because clearly Konami is this is going to be like pretty much their last AAA title that they're going to want to put out, and they're going to probably pretty much just migrate over into quick get-rich scheme mobile games, because I guess they had an uptick in all that revenue, so it's a complete bunch of bullshit that they aren't supporting Kojima well enough for any other projects. Oh, we see a nurse. Oh, now she goes into perspective. I like how they do this. This is very cliche. Nurse reaching over, get to see her chest, but it's not like the nurse is like extra attractive, so this is a little weird, but good to know that we are in the hospital. So if you've watched the E3 2013 or 2014 video trailer or preview teaser for Metal Gear Solid, you would have seen a lot of this here and there, but of course not this exact scene. But at least now we know the setting, so for sure that was a hospital, and clearly we're Snake coming from the survival from Ground Zero. So if you haven't played Ground Zeroes, I suggest you find a friend to play it or watch it online, someone else playing it, so you kind of get a quick preview about what this leads into, unless you can find the game online on sale for like $5 or something.
Κοίταξέ με. V has come to.
V has come too.
And that was just a preview just to get you to start the game. Love it. Love it, but it's still all sorts of convoluted. They're not giving you the full piece of everything just yet.
Ακούεις με?
Prologue. Awakening.
Ακούεις με?
Okay, still from the first person perspective. Everything is super blurry, but the good doctor is showing up.
Are you having difficulty speaking? Can you move your head? Just nod if you can hear me.
It's funny how they have you do something like this, only because of the fact that you were already doing it the first time.
Look
But now it's the eye
up,
examination. It's just a little funny because can you look up? You tilt your entire head. It's not just your eye line for
How do
this
you feel
scenario.
now? Can you speak? What is your name? When were you born? Can you recall?
So yeah, this part was a little funny. Like, they want you to like add in your name and info and crap. So I went ahead and entered my first name. I wasn't sure how specific it needed to be with any of this crap, so I just go ahead and enter my general date of birth. And alright. So it saves it. I'm sure this is all part of the Metal Gear Online thing that they'll end up doing, but
Please try to relax.
since that doesn't actually get released till later, similar to the whole single player first
I
and
need to tell
GTA
you
Online thing later,
Please listen,
Kojima and Konami are doing the same thing.
not to panic. You've been in a coma for quite some time. Yes, yes, I know. You would like to know how long. I'm afraid it's been 9 years.
Sorry, I'm also able to control the camera and zooms, but all the extra camera shakes, all that stuff, that's all on the developer's decision.
Calm down. Try not to panic.
Give me the morphine!
Try not to panic.
Oh yeah. Get nice and high now. See ya.
Just rest.
How do you feel?
It's been 1 week since you came to. Now, let's try getting you out of that bed. Nurse. Don't worry. You've lost some strength, but we've been maintaining your muscle mass through massages, CPM therapy, and EMS. Now, I need to explain something to you, but you must...
And the icon on the upper right comes back again, letting you have full control over
9
everything,
years ago, you
or at least of your head movement.
in an explosion.
Oh, Snake.
Upon examination, we
Got
discovered
fucked up in that explosion at the end of Ground
108
Zeroes.
foreign bodies embedded within. In addition to shrapnel, we also found fragments of human bone and human teeth. Most of it was removed, but some of the fragments still remain. They are located near your heart and in your skull. Look at this. The fragments are lodged deep within your cerebral...
What's funny is I honestly thought that little
We couldn't
the little
give you an
notch
MRI.
or
The metal.
huge gashing
But
chunk
even if we were
in
to
Snake's
try,
head was part
you
of
would
the
most
whole
likely
surgery to get him that
brain.
red prosthesis. You'll see later on, but that's what I
Mental
thought it
and
was. It was
physical
part of that
impairment
antenna
are unavoidable.
for that.
However, your current status is not life-threatening. One more thing. This X-ray is of your upper body. You better look now. Best to understand your situation. Sooner than
Zoom into the part of his chest, and as you can
I know
see,
it's difficult,
Snake's arm is not
but
there,
please look
but
down.
character Snake hasn't fully realized it just yet.
Be brave.
And on 3, 2, 1, on cue. And unfortunately, Snake doesn't take the news very well, and yet again needs to be sedated for going into shock. Unfortunately, you can't see your heart rate monitor, so you have no idea how many heart rates or beats per minute Snake's got going on. Finding out that he's not lost his left arm there.
Ένιωθε σε κατάσταση πλαστική εγχείρηση.
Κάποιος ήδη γνωρίζει ότι έχει ξυπνήσει. Διατρέχει μεγάλο κίνδυνο. Πρέπει να ενεργήσουμε άμεσα. Προετοιμάστε τον για εγχείρηση. Το πιστεύω.
It's true. There are those who wish you would never woken up. You should be dead, but you're not. The wheels are in motion. Your enemies are everywhere. We must alter your appearance immediately. Otherwise, I fear you won't leave this place alive. It's a wide open world up there.
I have to say, is a little hilarious about all of this is the fact that every time there's a big whopping piece of news that the doctor has to deliver, Snake goes into a hysterical state and makes him go into basically another deep coma for another 8 to 9 days.
What you look like, however.
And so here's again the part where you jump into your weird kind of face creator portion. And at first I thought, oh great, they're gonna make it semi-role playing. You get to pick out what Snake will actually look like and all this. So that was a little weird, but I think this is gonna more come into play to create your competitive online Metal Gear Solid persona, but I can't confirm that just yet, only because of the fact that online option is not available just yet, and you'll see later on how certain things change and don't change. But at least you actually have the variety. But since I'm Hispanic, I couldn't tell who was Hispanic in this list. Either everyone looked white, kind of European white, black, or Asian. But I just went with this guy because I tried my best to just keep certain characters to look the same as the heroes that the designers came up with. I hate having to come up with my own look or appearance for my hero character, as it were. So in the end, I think I ended up choosing the number 13 there and did some extra tweaks here and there. I didn't bother exploring any of the other features just because I just wanted to get it over with. They had this whole face painting area where this reminds me a lot of Destiny, but I'm glad at least they allowed the whole thing where it's just like, no face paint, let's just do some cool scars. And I think this was the scar that matches, I think number 27 I end up going back to, is the one that matches the scar structure that Big Boss has, so I end up just going with that. And yep, okay. Oh yeah, I screwed up. I thought I hit yes the first time. And there we go. And then we get to see the doctor. And at first I thought this was where my face immediately got changed, so this is where I got a little disappointed at first. But then to my surprise, that's just him saying this is what it's going to be once we get this going.
Now let's remove these bandages.
But here's the cool part. So pay attention to the
your
background.
face
This is
has
fucking
healed
creepy
nicely.
if you're not paying
To
too
tell you
close
the
attention.
truth, these bandages were more for
The
your
tension in this
protection,
game at this
to
point
hide you from
starts
those who
building
want
up, and
you
it
dead.
is awesome.
As of today, your
I'm
name
gonna stay
is
quiet for this
Ahab.
part for you guys to soak it in.
Forget everything. Your name, your past.
God, that was brutal. And the doctor still hasn't heard shit. That's what's crazy, because it's pretty fucking quiet in that room and didn't hear. That's fucking insane.
This is you, as you've lived until this day.
So this is how you
Tomorrow,
are
it
currently right
becomes
now, and the before face is what you'd look like later. Oh shit, the doctor. Okay, Snake. Yep, you can move the camera around a bit more. You still can't move. Oh, this was nerve-wracking.
Not yet. The patient in the next bed saw my face. Of course. Consider it done.
Snake is too weak and cannot reach for the gun. But if you look closely at her face, I'm pretty sure this is quiet, especially when you end up staring down the barrel of this gun, because this is totally gonna happen. Yep, here we go. Yep, that's quiet. And I try to zoom in on her face more than that's why it does that weird jolter thing.
Okay, have time to go.
What happened to the woman?
The woman? We gave her a light. She took the short way down.
Who are you?
Who am I? You're talking to yourself. Been watching over you for 9 years. You can call me Ismael.
What the hell is going on?
Well, the good news is, you're in the land of the living. Bad news? The whole world wants you dead. On your feet, soldier. The whole place is coming down.
See with that guy's explanation. At first I thought it would have been Commander Miller or whatever doing this, but when it sounded just like Kiefer Sutherland talking to himself back and forth, this has now turned into a Fight Club Tyler Durden moment where this is you down below for real, yet your imagination version is above. So there must have been you fighting down there at first, throwing all the bottles and bedpans and crap, and somehow getting that girl on fire. In this case, undisclosed soldier, but totally you see her face. It's got to be quiet. That we'll hopefully get to later on. Again, this is only the first about hour and 44 minutes of the gameplay here, so a lot of this is a little slow, so apologies, but it's the full intro game capture here as I'm narrating all of this for you guys. Again, it's my first, so my apologies if I don't have a lot, but at the same time I also figure you guys actually want to see what the hell's going on versus entirely listening to me the whole time. But yeah, a lot of this is so well done. I think Kojima did a great job with this intro here. Like I said, it's a little slow, but I think they still did a great job here. I have to say, at least it didn't copy, you know, Quentin Tarantino with Kill Bill, with having him try to wiggle his toe using stupid, like, button commands. I like this where you just crawl, you keep moving, and then hopefully he'll gradually get better. But it's almost generally all on a track, so that there's a certain area you can't really crawl to. It just won't let you. And we'll knock over the AC water fountain thing, even though you'll see when I move the camera there's no hose connected to it. But all this stuff is leaking out of it, so that was just kind of weird. 'Cause at least to me it didn't look like a trash bin. Yeah, that is such a weird-ass scary corridor thing. And honestly, it's not a Metal Gear Solid game without any kind of cool supernatural soldiers and such. But here you go, here's the first glimpse of an enemy that we don't know who the hell they are. But rumors online were saying this was the very early version of Psycho Mantis when he was a younger kid and everything, because of the gas mask and the clothing and all of that.
Something's coming.
Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake here. These guys have no names yet. Clearly this guy with all this fire is quickly eliminated with water. So we'll see a lot of that later on. But it is intense. It's clearly Snake can't move very much or do much of anything. On top of which, he just keeps getting knocked down left and right. But at least I reached the checkpoint here, not dying yet. And it looks like Snake's slowly getting his strength up to start moving faster. Then it looks like the drugs he injected himself with is starting to potentially kick in now. Because of the camera angle, it doesn't let you see through walls. Occasionally what will happen is your camera will immediately jump into a first-person vantage point. And so that gets a little annoying, as you saw that, where I would tilt the camera more to the left to see what's going on, and then go into first person. And then finally you're able to kind of have a lot faster movement now, as things are starting to heat up here. And there's that attack chopper that was patrolling earlier.
Hold up, let's fix this.
Oh boy. Oh. This is cool. We kind of get to see a little bit of Snake Eater moments here. He has to pop in his arm back into his socket there with his elbow.
It's always good to try and mend your injuries while hiding from the enemy.
I'm a huge fan of Kiefer Sutherland, so I'm really happy that he did the voice of Snake and it's not David Hayter. Because David Hayter is cool, but man, his voice never changed as Snake progressed. And I feel like he got a little too self-centered with his whole role in this game. No humility with it, so when he got kicked out and Kojima went with Kiefer Sutherland, I thought that was a great pick. And oh shit. Finally I get to do more actual Snake movement, crouching movement this time now. But this part's cool. I'm glad that you had your like outer Snake person doing stuff. But then you'll see later on in the game where it seems like the enemies even follow that other guy, so then that's where it gets a little weird and tricky, that at first it sounds like it's just your adventurous version of yourself doing things. You know, having a weird out-of-body experience while you're trying to survive in your actual body, and then yet at the same time that other person seems to have a greater effect. So again, it's very much a bit like out-of-body survival experience going on, much like Fight Club. And so this is the normal camera perspective when you crawl underneath, going prone under a low deck environment. Oh, this is fucked up right here.
Let's move.
Help me! I don't want to die!
See, for sure I thought at that part I was fucked. And the soldier doesn't seem to realize that he's got onto some other body, that he's talking to someone. And so... Oh shit. Oh, and see that extra crash. Oh, totally saves you. This whole intro, this whole thing is just amazing. As much as I miss the PT demo and I wish they would make that PT game, I do like that they have this part. This is kind of a mix of your PT, except without the freaky supernatural crap. Super paranormal activity garbage. And get lit up.
Time to walk. Press the stance button to stand
Yep,
up.
still crouching.
Don't
Lead
get
snake.
caught in those searchlights.
Yeah, there's like these weird contextual little guides that kind of pop in here and there. But if you played Ground Zeroes, a lot of those same mechanics pretty much work the same. So if I were you, like I said before, pick up Ground Zeroes or try to get a demo of it or something to